Good evening, hockey fans. Here we are at Sargent Street in Hartford, Hartford Public Access. We're the Whaler guys, and you guys are the Brigade. We are nights away from opening night of UConn hockey, playing Alabama Huntsville.
Yeah.
October 1st, or no, October...
Be the 7th.
7th,
yeah.
I have to remember that.
Yeah.
It's my anniversary.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and it's 7 o'clock at the XL Center. We hope that everyone's going to go and support UConn. And then the Wolf Pack is, what, the 14th?
Yeah, that's the following weekend. That's right. So they're going to open up soon, too.
We are fast approaching the wonderful time of the year that's not Christmas or Hanukkah. It is hockey season.
That's right. And even it was interesting. Today at the Wolfpack tryouts, Trevor Gerling showed up. He played for UConn 2 years ago in their first season of Hockey East. He had spent some time overseas and is back and trying to make the team. So it's pretty neat. You have that connection where, you know, you got some guys play UConn and then they make the AHL and they're on the Wolfpack and they're playing in the same building that they're playing college.
Rob Nichols has been drafted by the Rangers organization,
yeah,
so he could be playing in Hartford as well.
That's right. That's right. You know, there's a couple other players too, and if we ever got an NHL team back, it'd be great to see UConn players coming in from other teams, and you know, whether it be AHL or NHL. But it's great to have that because you know, one of the things that lost when the NHL left, you know, even if it was 20 years ago, is that the players move around so much at the AHL level that you don't have any consistency with the players sticking around in the market. So, you know, certain players are only here for a couple seasons in the AHL and then they're gone. You know, with the Whalers, we had some players that were here for a couple seasons, but, you know, we did have other players that were here for 5, 6, 7 years. They grew families here, you know, then they became part of the community. So that was, you know, a good thing.
And
but
you know, when you see, and even today with the NHL being involved at 20 years in the making, since we've been doing
screwed for 20 years.
Screwed for 20 years. Yeah. Even those contracts are, you know, maybe 4 years, 5 years.
Yeah.
Every once in a while you'll see a long-term contract.
Yeah.
But even those contracts are a lot shorter than they used to be.
Yeah.
So we really had it great when the Whalers were here because they were here for an extended period of time.
Right.
Now you have shorter contracts, more money. Brad Marchand just signed another one with the Bruins. That was I think it was a 8-year.
Yeah.
$49 million.
Yeah.
Amazing, you know, and you know that shows his commitment to Boston in this case. But you know, you see that with other players too.
Yeah.
They like where they're playing. They like who they're playing for. They make a commitment to stay there long term. You like you said, you go to the Rockcats, or what used to be the Rockcats, and maybe we'll see a baseball game at some point in Hartford. The same thing with the minor league baseball. They're in and out so fast that you really can't grow attached to a player or a group of players. You're attached to your team because it's your team, but you don't have that luxury like we used to in Hartford. And you know, now as we talk about where our team was, where they are now, and a lot of info coming out with Arizona and what's happening down in Arizona.
Yeah.
That letter that was released by the Coyotes, which I think sounded very, very bad. And again, people, you can interpret it in your own way. You can look on our Facebook page and look at what the Coyotes put out to their fans.
Yeah.
It was almost like the last swan song.
Well, yeah, it was you know, it was a letter saying, hey, you know, we had these slogans: run with the pack, you know, be a Coyote, you know, stay with the dog pound, whatever they were.
Yeah.
And they were saying, like, you know, we fed you these slogans, but
the dog crap.
yeah. But now we're gonna, you know, the Coyotes were saying, but now we're gonna, you know, we're show you we're committed to this market, blah blah blah, and it was like. It reminded me of a girl who has a boyfriend who's a player, and they go out and they, you know, because we know the Coyotes have talked to other cities. We know that they talk to us. They talk to Hartford, you know, through a third party. But you know, they did all this window shopping. They've had all these, you know, announcements that they've missed, and now they go, baby, it was always you, baby. I mean, that, you know,
should I buy the ring?
Yeah, you know.
Buy the ring?
I mean, if I was living in the Arizona community, you know, around Glendale. And they had that letter saying, it was always you. It's you know, we're dedicated to you now. And I know you've been shopping, and I know you're trying to. I know. And it's like, what do you think we are? Are you stupid? Some people like the honesty of it.
If you want to call it honesty, you know, to me, you can read through the BS.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
This is a public. I don't.
It's a little late.
Spend a little money. The hell with the stadium. A public relations representative would be really good because. If I read that letter and I was a season ticket holder and I'm putting down X amount of $1,000 a year, I'd be like, what?
Yeah.
All right, so when are the moving vans coming?
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not saying they're coming to Hartford, but yes, Hartford has been in the talks.
Yeah.
But I'd be pissed off because you're taking all my money and running.
Yeah, not only that, but I mean, it's like, now you're telling me you're committed. In 9 months, you don't have a home. You're homeless. You're a team that's going to have a cup. Will play on ice for food.
Yeah.
So
plus they irritated the snot at everyone in Glendale. And Arizona.
And everybody knows they're trying to find a better deal somewhere else, and whether that would be Tucson or somewhere around Phoenix near the because we think that they might try to do what's going on here, where UConn would be paired with an NHL team. They want to put the I think it's the Arizona Devils, the college team, the Sun Devils, and have a college hockey team and an NHL team maybe.
Which makes perfect sense.
It does, yeah.
With more than one tenant, the NHL is great and it makes a lot of money. Yeah. But to have that collegiate team in there only makes it that more marketable for people to come to hockey games.
Yeah,
and again, just like the XL Center, it's not going to solely survive on basketball and hockey. They need to get other events in there and really.
Yeah.
For an old facility, Spectrum has done a great job trying to get as many events. And then next year when they close down for the summer to do that ice sheet, unfortunately that's not going to be revenue coming into the XL Center.
No.
But it's a step in the right direction to make it a modern facility.
Right.
So we can attract possibly another team.
Right.
I'm very optimistic, especially with that terrible public relations situation in Arizona, that we will see maybe another round of another team coming in here.
Yeah.
Now, we can talk about, and I think you talked about it last week. I was absent because I had to work. But you talked about when you asked the governor about the XL Center.
Yeah. It was great to go to the Business for Downtown meetings, and they happened to have Governor Malloy there at Black Eyed Sally's right on Asylum Street. So they had great food, they had the barbecue stuff. It was really good, and the governor talked about regional tourism, some issues with the budget. He talked some high level stuff, and people had questions, and mostly everybody was pretty cool with him. But after a little while, he was like, I gotta go. I gotta get out of here. You could see he was getting antsy getting out of there. And
was he antsy because he had somewhere to go, or antsy because of questions?
I don't know. That's what I can't figure out. I think he did have another appointment, but at the same time, I think he was kind of like, I don't want to answer any questions about something that's difficult. So I said, I got one more question. And he said, well, I thought we already had the last question. And I said, no, there's just one more, and it's a good one. And I really thought he was going to tell me, and I think you might have felt the same way, that he might say, look, we don't have enough time, we don't have enough interest, we don't have enough money to deal with anything hockey. But no, I asked him, is there an investment group still out there, and are they interested in bringing a team to Hartford? And he sidestepped the investment group portion of it, but he did go out for 4 minutes straight after he said he was ready to leave.
With no stuttering.
Yeah, I only
know this because Peter recorded it, and the governor knew he was recording it. And you can go on because I think you did a great job framing the question, so he had to answer it in a certain way.
Right, and then I also asked him if, now I'm stuttering, so I also asked him if UConn is ready to sign that 20-year lease, and he went on for 4 minutes about, I really hope that the legislature allocates this money for the XL Center. He said, I cannot imagine the XL Center not in Hartford. Anybody who loves Hartford, it would be, a horrible situation to lose that economic piece, because it is a draw. Don't forget, over 500,000 people came to the XL Center last year. That's not without an NHL team. So, that's roughly 1 in 6 people in the state go to the XL Center for some kind of event, whether it be Monster Trucks or Wolf Pack or UConn or whatever. So imagine that gone. What a mess Hartford would be. I mean, if you think it's a mess now, imagine it with a whole, and Senator Markley there with a fruit stand. There'd be nothing to do. So it's a do or die thing, and Jerry and I are really honest about it. We're not telling you the Whalers are coming back, but we are telling you it's possible, because there's so much negativity out there. And the governor was so forward, I thought, because he even mentioned NHL teams. He said, and I didn't even ask him this, he said, I think the Islanders are going to move, so he mentioned them by name. He said, I think a team in the Midwest is going to move, which could be, Columbus, St. Louis, I don't know, but, somewhere in the Midwest. And then he said a team out west, and I assume he meant...
2 teams out west.
Yeah, and I think he meant Arizona for one. But, to come out and say that, especially with the room full of people that are all, downtown interests, the big corporations, he went on, and he said bringing Hockey East to Hartford was a big part in getting that whole ball rolling. And
that's what you said to him, and he said, and who brought Hockey East? And you said, you did. He goes, I did.
Yeah, he trumped right up and said, hey, who put UConn and Hockey East? And I was like, well, you did, but he definitely wanted people to know because it's been a great success story. I mean, we think this year that the UConn will do even better in attendance-wise because they have a lot more Friday, Saturday nights. So, definitely get on that bandwagon.
Well, and like we discussed, when you let me listen to the interview, I even said to you that what I picked up from it was someone's working with the governor in a hockey-related capacity.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying the governor's not smart in the hockey, following hockey, but he had so many good answers to the questions about the Islanders,
right.
The Midwest team, 2 teams on the West Coast. So someone is putting information in his ear, and I think it's either inside the state or outside the state.
Right.
Because you know what? That's way too much information for the governor of the state of Connecticut.
He's not reading hockey news and go, I just read hockey
news. NHL.com
no.
to see, okay, who's moving next? No. So I think someone is helping him. I don't know if it's a consultant or whatever, but someone's keeping him up to date on what's going on in hockey news.
Yeah. I mean, it's almost like this is going to be a morbid scenario here I'm going to put out, but it's almost like a building collapsed and you see someone's arm, and you can see their arm, but their building is like on top of the person, and you go, I'm going to go check for a pulse.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to be there, and that's my point, is I went to the governor asking him a hockey question because I thought he was going to say, forget it. But he didn't. He was completely opposite, and there was a pulse there.
And you also said, through the other questions he was answering, he did his stuttering thing, which is a disability he has. So I can't joke about it. But through the answer, the communication Pete had with him, there was no stuttering at all. He was very comfortable about answering those questions from the Excel Center and for the hockey thing. So. That was a very comfortable topic for him.
Yeah, it was. And I think he's a little passionate about it.
Sure.
And I think that you're right. The way that he gave out the information that he was saying, it wasn't like he was sitting there and go, how do I phrase this? I mean, it's almost like he already had it in his head.
Yeah, almost like,
It's been on his mind recently.
Not that it was written out for him.
Yeah.
But it was something that, A, he felt comfortable doing, A, he had enough information.
Yeah.
And then he went for it and gave you a great dissertation because it wasn't a prepared statement.
Right,
but it flowed so well.
Right.
Where it gives you, like you said, I'm very optimistic about what I heard.
Right.
He is a politician.
Right.
He
We understand that.
Yeah. The right way or wrong way. Or letting you know, or making you happy about what he's saying. But you know what? I will give him that.
Yeah.
If that hangs our hope on for a little longer, good. Until it's dead in water, we'll be sitting here boring you to death and having a great show.
Yeah, yep.
But, there's so many things going on that, when I talk to people out on social media, there are no guarantees with these hockey clubs. And the reason for that, as we've spoken about before, is you have the NFL, NHL, or NBA, and MLB. Very strong sports, very big TV contracts, big fan bases.
Right.
Hockey is that narrow stretch. So these teams that are financially struggling we talk about Carolina, and how can they possibly, come back from allegedly $300 million in a hole?
Yeah.
$105 million was taken from his kids.
Yeah.
I thought the Arizona thing sounded
bad. I know.
That sounds horrible.
Oh, it does. It does.
This is horrible.
And the Islanders aren't happy in their building. Their building is a basketball building.
Right. And so, I think hockey, for our approach to things, I think we have more of a chance, more so now than before, because you're starting to see some teams in financial despair that might have to look at getting out or having a new ownership to bail them out.
Right.
So that might be part of, say, hypothetically, we're not telling you it's happening, Carolina gets sold to our investment group.
Right.
Well, maybe the investment group now has to take on that $300 million loss.
Yeah.
Now, does that mean I'm buying a Mercedes with 600,000 miles that when I get down to the end of the street is going to crap out? I don't want a lemon. I want to make sure that our investment, even though it's not ours, it's our sentimental investment, carries on for more years to come. Not let's just go buy a team to buy a team.
Yeah.
And we talked about that before, that I just don't want to go, and now the team that the investment group purchases is so much in debt that they can't go out and buy good players and be competitive.
In 28 win seasons, and that would be bad because you know what? we're honest about that. I mean, no one's showing up to the XL Center if the team winning 25, 28 games a year.
And you know our fans are fickle as hell.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, look at UConn.
Yeah.
I just listened to the poor Bob Diaco again do his press conference. He needs to hire a public relations person because he does not come out with the correct wording. Yeah. I feel bad for him. I think he's trying to do the good thing. I want UConn football to succeed, but not when he gives a press conference the way the last two were absolutely horrendous. Yeah. But, you know, we want UConn to succeed. We want them to do well. We want UConn hockey to do well because we want that building filled more and more each time. And like Michael Freeman says, all right, we stopped selling tickets at 8,800. Yeah. We want to make sure they're biting for the next game.
Oh, sure, absolutely. And then they keep Hockey East happy so that the teams don't go in there and say, oh, when we go into Hartford where there's so many people, you know, it's not a fair setting. So they make it kind of, you know, because there is issues that UConn's campus is in Hartford, but is the XL Center okay to use for Hockey East? As far as the governor's concerned, he says every game, as long as he's governor, that every Hockey East game will be in that XL Center.
And that's been approved by Hockey East.
Yeah, so they don't have an issue with it.
And the other thing is, we're the only building in all these other buildings that there's no cap, meaning, you know, Quinnipiac, it's like 3,500. Right. And they sell standing room tickets.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, Yale, same thing.
Yeah.
About the same attendance level. We don't have a cap. We can get 7,000, 8,000 people in there. Right. And I think that's what Hartford has to do. I'm very optimistic with UConn. They're picked in the preseason preview as coming in 7th in Hockey East.
Wow.
I think they can do better than that.
Yeah, maybe.
I think they're going to be surprisingly, I don't mean this disrespectfully, I think they're going to be surprisingly good this year. They're picking BU, Notre Dame. Yeah. I'm sorry, BU, Northeastern, and Notre Dame is the top 3.
Wow, really?
Yes. Ah. So then we got UConn in 7. I personally have a feeling I think they're going to do better than 7 with the energy they have. And Kavanaugh just signed a 5-year extension.
Oh, great.
So, you know, they like what they've seen in the first couple years with him.
It's all, can they get over in New Hampshire, Maine, and jump a spot or two? And it's funny you brought up, because I brought up UConn and the importance of UConn hockey at the XL Center because I flatly told the governor, I said, you came out and said, if you want to support the NHL, go through UConn. And I thought, college hockey? Is he out of his mind? I mean, who's going to college hockey? Well, it's been tremendous. And that's where the XL Center gets a lot of its revenue turnaround from those UConn games because 80,000 alumni were within 45-minute drive. They go there. They're buying $9 beers. So they're you know, they're making the XL Center more profitable. They haven't made it out of the red yet, but you know, that's your tax dollars. So this is all good for everybody. And whether you like hockey or not, less tax dollars you have to do to maintain this building, that's a good thing. Right. So
and you know, and then with the Wolf Pack coming in on the 14th, starting their opening against the St. John.
Yeah,
St. John's, the Ice Caps.
Yeah, for one more year. That's Montreal. Then they're moving to Laval. Canada, I guess, and they're going to make the Rockets or something. It'll be like
fabulous.
Rocket Richard.
Goodbye.
So
I hate Montreal. Yeah. So then we got news about Binghamton.
Yeah. Boy, very strange. Yeah.
Binghamton's moving their hockey club, which is the Ottawa Senators Farm Club, up to Ottawa or Hamilton.
No, Bellevue, it's called.
Bellevue,
but it's about a couple hours away from Ottawa.
Right. Yeah. So they're moving up north.
Right.
But the mayor or town selectman, whoever he was, said, don't worry, we have an AHL club coming in here.
Right.
Peter and I talked off camera. This is the last year of the Wolfpack's lease with the XL Center. They can renew it one more year, right?
Yeah, they do have an option for one more year, but it's everything's in the Rangers' court. In other words, they make the call whether they're going to stay here or not. Now, we mentioned them because there's just not a lot of teams that can go into Binghamton right now because so many teams went west. You know, to me, the top 2 would be Albany or Hartford would be moving into Binghamton.
And you even said Utica, maybe, right?
Well, I was thinking other teams, and I guess Utica's a possibility, but they're a Vancouver team, so I'm not sure if they want to move Utica to somewhere out more west, closer to their club.
Sure.
But there's not a lot. I mean, it's not Providence, it's not Hershey, it's not Springfield. None of those teams are going, so there's only a couple left, and it's like a game of musical chairs, and you have like maybe 2 or 3 franchises going around this thing. And if they do leave Hartford, our biggest question and you guys are going to want to know this, is are they leaving because they have to, or are they leaving because they want to? And if they're leaving because they have to, then that might mean that something else is going on with the NHL.
Well, that or the state has finally said, no, we're not.
We're speculating, but anyway.
Well, this is all speculation.
Yeah.
But I will say, through all the speculation, and we've put things out on our social media, we've been contacted by several reporters from the sports media market in Hartford, asking if this was true. We don't have any confirmation. We've told them we have no confirmation, and we didn't tell them anything more than what we're telling you, because we're not going to go out on our limb and look like jackwagons, because you know what? We're not doing that. We're very conservative in what we do, but when there's a break, we'll be letting you guys know first.
Yeah.
And you know, I found it neat that we were contacted by the media.
Yeah.
Asking
Finally,
us
they're starting to figure it out that we know our stuff. That's right.
But it's one of those things where I just couldn't confirm it for these people. And
No.
I wasn't going to go out on a limb and say that.
And at the same time, you know, it's not that I want the Wolfpack out of here. I hope that in any case that there is UConn hockey and something else, whether that be AHL or NHL or, you know, something along the lines. It's good to have the two tenants.
It is.
And I was going to say, you know,
the only reason they would be leaving, I meant to say that, would be if the state possibly was not going to pay that $1.4 million affiliation fee.
Yeah, but they have the option, and then they would have to pay
if the
it.
Wolfpack agrees to stay another year, they have to pay it.
Right.
So, you know, it's in the contract.
Yeah.
So that wouldn't be a barrier.
No.
What would be the barrier?
Yeah.
You bring up a good point with the NHL.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if the Rangers do. Why would they want to go back to Binghamton? It's farther away from New York. You know, there's a couple things. Now, it's Ranger country, I guess. I mean, you know, the Binghamton Arena there.
Buffalo.
Huh?
Buffalo up there too. You're closer to Buffalo up there than you are in New York City.
I forgot where the Buffalo franchise was. You got me now. Where's the Buffalo AHL team? I think it's Rochester Americans.
Is it?
That's Buffalo.
I don't know.
So that's why would they move from Rochester to Binghamton?
I agree.
See, this is going to be the thing. And at the same time, we don't necessarily, like I said, we're not trying to say get the Wolfpack out of here, but it's just an option that they could leave at the end of the season. But we still want to have a lot of people show up. The more people that show up for AHL, the better it is for the building. Even if it's the Rangers and you don't like them or whatnot, the more people that come to those games, it's your dollars are running that XL Center. So you want people in that building.
Like you said earlier, you said it perfect. 500,000 people went to the XL Center.
Yeah.
1 out of every 6 in the state of Connecticut came to the XL Center for something last year.
Yeah.
And that's the most important part of this whole thing, is keeping the XL Center moving forward so we have the opportunities.
Right.
And the opportunities right now are AHL, Wolfpack, and UConn hockey, along with UConn basketball and all the other stuff. And I think we're in a very good position because we're not one of those teams out there that the governor talked about that could be relocating, or out in Arizona where they're sweating it, saying, okay, are we leaving? Are we staying? That's the worst possible place to be in, because first of all, you're putting that out before hockey season. Yeah. That public
that was the weirdest part about it, because the AHL is very tight and tucked about. I mean, they're not talking about moves until March, April, and here we got Binghamton saying, we already got a team.
No, I'm saying Arizona too.
Yeah.
I mean, why would you put that out if you're in the midst of selling season tickets?
Yeah.
That's like a suicide note. You know, no disrespect, but you know, you're putting this out. Oh, we're going to be transparent with you.
Yeah.
Well, what the hell you been with us the previous years?
Yeah, the letter was like, this time it's for real. But but back, you know, here in Hartford, if the AHL does leave, it would kind of stink to have the AHL leave and not have a replacement. Because let's say
But they have to have a replacement in that lease.
Yeah,
remember?
I know, but who? There's nobody.
I don't know.
I mean, if the Rangers move to Binghamton, and that leaves Hartford in AHL market, I'm sure teams would probably want to ditch. But I mean, everyone else is under contract. I can't even imagine who would move here, and it would stink to lose 36
states.
Is
the AHL expanding?
No.
Okay, well then that's done.
Yeah, I know.
All right, we've now screwed up everything.
We've got a Scooby-Doo mystery, you know. So we'll have to wait and see what. And maybe it is Albany that's moving there. They always seem to want to get out of Albany. You know, every time you hear it. As a matter of fact, when the Baldwins were running the show here, you know, they had some preliminary conversations with the New Jersey Devils about Albany moving here. So Albany's always, you know, the Devils have always kind of been in the mix to move somewhere, but you just never know.
Well, if the Wolfpack moves north, maybe Albany moves south.
Yeah.
A lot of the AHL teams, and we talked about this when the Baldwins were involved.
Yeah.
More so, the AHL teams are portable.
Yeah.
But again, if they have contracts, they can't get out of those contracts or
leases. Well, you know, there's loopholes and everything. It seems like. I mean, you can see.
Well, that New York debacle in Barclays Center has a lot of loopholes.
Oh.
We've been told by
Swiss cheese.
very, very, very good sources that that lease has a lot of
It's
loopholes where the
Millman,
Islanders can get out.
Yeah.
I'd be more interested to see if the Islanders were actually going to build.
They can get out in 16 months.
Well, not only that,
Just 16 months they can get out.
I'm interested to see if they're going to build a facility out at Citi Field.
Yeah, that would be interesting because that would
it'd be bad for us because
yeah.
then we're out of the
well,
mix
then
again.
then the Islanders would, but they're kind of crazy to leave New York, but at the same time, that Barclays Center is just not a good building to watch hockey. And we've seen some of the pictures. They treat the fans, I think, horribly. Kind of like, well, you're a third tenant, so
yeah, but you're
hit the
paying
bricks.
thousands of dollars for
yeah,
tickets.
it's not cheaper.
Oh, you can't see? Pull it up on your phone.
Capacity is the I know.
Oh,
That's what they
good
said. They
Lord.
told them to watch the game on the phone when they had obstructed viewing seats. Now the arena only holds less than the XL Center.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just not.
And see, that's where
a really good hockey
people
movie.
get. We talk to a lot of people, and really, what happens is they sit there and say, "Well, the XL Center only has 15,000." Well, Winnipeg has 15,000.
Yeah.
The Barclays Center has 15,000.
Right.
The NHL, all they'll do, and I hate to say this because it'll take me out of the market, is less seats, higher prices on tickets.
Yeah.
And for us guys, we won't be able to do such a thing because
a couple games, but
a couple games here and there.
Yeah.
Or, you go in with a bunch of buddies and you buy a couple season tickets.
Yeah, and then you split the games out.
And that's what people have to do.
Yeah, that'll be one day if the NHL ever does come back here. We are going to have to really push to sell tickets, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And that's just going to be the way it is. So.
Well, like that guy in Las Vegas when he sent us that email when we were wrong, allegedly, about all the casinos buying up the tickets.
Yeah.
And I stood corrected and I apologized that they sold 14,000 season tickets, and they weren't from the casinos.
Not all of them.
So I ate crow, and I was like, all right, you're right.
Yeah, we'll see how that pans out. I still think that's
But again,
a weird situation.
they still don't have a name.
Yeah, but I know they don't have a name, and what do
They don't have a
call
name.
them?
Arizona doesn't have a place to go next year.
That's what I'm
Things
saying.
are looking up for us.
I know. I know. That's what I'm saying. We got to hope for chaos in the NHL. It helps Hartford, but I hear so many people around here telling me, well, Hartford can't even get the yard goats. Okay, that's a city thing. Has nothing to do with the CRDA. You're talking about completely. It's kind of like in your family, your sister does something bad, and you go, oh, well, your sister's a moron. Well, yeah, but that doesn't mean you're a moron.
Right.
So
but
the
other thing is,
yeah.
the other thing you have to bring up about the CRDA, we only have a couple minutes left, is Michael Freemuth was on the news last night, and they're buying an adjacent lot down by the UConn project for $20 million, and they're putting up 2 brand new apartment complexes.
Yeah.
They are so far ahead of schedule with leasing them and waiting lists.
Yeah.
CRDA has done a phenomenal job.
They are incredible.
And they're great. Terrell Smith
Yeah.
and Michael Freemuth and Susan Hopgood. We talk to her all the time. It's very important to recognize what the CRDA is doing downtown outside of the XL Center is just outrageous. This is the beginning of that younger generation coming in, the millennials who want to live downtown. This is where our hockey fans are going to come from. UConn's going to flourish downtown. It's a great investment, I think, moving everything downtown.
Oh, yeah.
Because other than that, it was just going to fall apart and it's going to go dark.
Mayor Bronin has even said that, hey, Hartford, without Hartford, the suburbs are going to die. And you probably don't believe that, but it's true. Hartford is that much of an economic impact on the city and the surrounding counties and such. So, things are, not great in Hartford.
They're
but
not peaking, but they're starting to edge up a bit. And we are always optimistic that not only is Hartford going to succeed and move forward, especially with the new leadership in place, but also looking at hockey season coming, we are excited. We'll see you at the XL Center. Pete and I will be at the Wolf Pack games and the UConn games. Make sure you say hi. And until next time, remember, we're the Whaler guys, you guys are Brigade, and we are one nation under green. Have a great night, Whaler fans.